I haven't done a video. Well, I've done a video, but I haven't done a tech video in 3 weeks. Oh my God, the algorithm's going to be all algorithmically against me. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Oh, here we go. These things. Why do I have all these mice? Why I don't have 3 hands? Why do I have 3 mice? Why do I have 3 mice? Well, Mr. R's old. That's why. See this? This hand. It's seen better days. It hurts. Wrists hurt. We're doing a whole bunch of stuff just to try to keep this hand and this hand healthy. That's why we have 3 mice. And because we are tech geeks. Tech nerds, tech geeks, whatever the term is these days, whatever. We are that. And it's all part of having your bona fides to have your bones hurt. It's not. You should not be in pain. We tried out a whole bunch of different kinds of mice. Well, we tried out our regular mouse, and then we tried out the vertical mouse, and we tried out the big trackball. We have a small trackball too, but it's not even showing up right now because, well, it's got issues. And we're going to talk about issues. This is your RSI-inducing standard mouse, and you would think that this wasn't a big deal, doing this, click, 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 scroll, scroll. You wouldn't think so. But your hand, when it's like this, your bones have a twist. There's 2, your radius and ulna. And when your palm is down, your radius and ulna are going from a vertical to a horizontal. They're crossing over each other, and you have tendons that run through here. There's a little tube that you have a bunch of tendons going through, and if you work it too much, then you end up getting problems, and that's because you have this twist in your hand. Well, so you would think turning it this way would be great, right? Well, then guess what? Now your shoulder's doing some weird work that it doesn't do when it's this way. Oh my God, this is not supposed to be an ergonomics video. This is supposed to be a geeky tech video. But the reason why we're doing this is that we don't want to be in pain. And this can work, but eventually it causes pain in our shoulder, our elbow, our wrist. So we went to this, the vertical mouse. And we thought, oh, that'll be fine. That'll be great. Except there's this problem, see? This vertical mouse is shaped like a pyramid. It is pointy like this. See? It's narrow on the top. It's wide on the bottom. What happens when you try to grab something that's that shape? You get this. This is what you get. You get pick up and slide. Okay, squeeze harder. Oh, now we're going to push buttons on accident. Okay, squeeze just using the points that are at the very bottom. Well, that's great, except that's not ergonomic. Your body doesn't want to do that. Your body wants to grab this thing and turn it into a little freaking squeeze ball, whatever. It does not like trying to pick up a pyramid. That's the problem with these mice. You see this? This is a piece of tape with another piece of tape under it. Why is that there? It is so when we go to lift, we have a little bump for our thumb to stay under. Should I have to do that? Should I have to do that? Should I put tape on my glasses when they're not broken? Oh, well, this is broken, I guess. What's the other problem with this? Well, here we're using our shoulder and our forearm and our elbow to move. Well, that's great, except those are big, gross muscles. Here, we're using our fingers. That allows you to make teeny tiny little movements. Doing that here, I have to put my hand into the bad position, not this position. If I do it this way, I guess I could do that. Maybe I could do that, but it feels like I'm not really controlling this mouse. This is where my hand wants to be. This is what I have to do. I've used this forever. I used this for a month. And it's just awkward. It's just very awkward because here I could do that. But then when I go to pick it up, oh, I got lucky this time. The buttons didn't push. I put pressure in the right places. I didn't accidentally knock into this yellow button here. Oh yeah, that's great. It's gonna take forever to get used to this mouse. And on top of that, the scroll on the side is just weird. These are problems. These are things that we deal with every day. Now, that takes us to the trackball. This is the most ergonomic trackball I could find. I like the little Logitech mouse, but it costs $90 for the new version with 4 buttons. Oh my God, why is it that expensive? And it's got the small trackball too on top of that. This is a nice big trackball. The problem with this device is that it has too many damn buttons and they're weird. What are these? These are like the black keys on a piano. This is my middle button and this is my right button. And these 2 buttons are actually programmed to be something else that they're not. They're functions. On the side, we have this button and this button, which initially are a forward and back button. And this button down here is my left button. This one right here, that's my left button. But this is not at all what I would call ergonomic. Having my thumb down there, that causes tension right through here. That doesn't happen when the thumb's up here. Luckily, these buttons can be programmed. They can be made into the left button, and that's what they are now. The scroll wheel is the middle button. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Again, it's a side scroll. So this is annoying. The other problem with this mouse is the software. Every now and then the mouse becomes halty. So I'll be moving along and it'll move, and then it'll kind of and then move. Or it'll just like seem like it's not responding. But even though that happens every now and then, resetting, it goes away. Usually it's some kind of a RAM problem or whatever, but it clears up. So this is usable. Now, the part that's annoying is there's too many damn buttons. Too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where's button number 9? Isn't there a 9 button or is it 8 button? I don't know. But, you know, too many buttons, too much programming. That's the downfall of this. And again, even though this has a nice cushion, I end up with my palm shoved into here. And again, we're putting pressure on the wrist doing this. Should be that your hand is just floating. Buttons are kind of weird. I don't like them where they are. That's the problem with this. Problem with this is, of course, the bad position. So even here, we have the same position, but it just doesn't feel like I'm working the wrist as much. Doesn't feel like I'm putting tension in it, as long as I have these buttons programmed so that I'm not pulling down to do my buttons. I also find that I'm pushing downward on this set of buttons instead of inward. to do my clicking. And the third button there, that is kind of awkward because as you can see, I'm pushing back with my pinky as I push this, and that's not very ergonomic. And if I just push this, even there, see, there's this weird compression happening. And if I'm up here where I'm supposed to be, then I can still push the trackball, and it's just not right. I have to have my palm down to be able to push this without the trackball wanting to slide that way. So let's go to the compare and contrast moment here. So owie, 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 but very precise motions. Far less owie. Nice precision motions, except the software every now and then bogs down for some reason. And the weird shape of this button and the fact that there's just, I mean, it's nice that there's a bunch of buttons because I can program the buttons to be what I want them to be, but there's just so many buttons, and the side scroll ergonomics are just awful. This one, best position for the wrist. Lifting is a pain, requires an adaptation. It's light, it's easier enough to pick up, it's pyramidal and your fingers want to slide off. Again, the side scroll button is weird, and this is designed for a 6.5-inch hand. For my American non-metric friends, we're at about 7.5 inches. For my metric friends, we're talking about 18.5 centimeters. This is not a 7.5-inch or 18.5 centimeter hand device. There's a larger version of this, costs probably about $10 more, I think, $5 more maybe, that if you have Mr. R size hands, that's what you're going to want to do, because this is just a little too small. Anyway, so positives, it's light, it's best ergonomics, and it's cheap. It's like $25. Positives, you can do fine manipulation, and everybody's hand is used to this. Well, if you've done mousing at all. Positives, most ergonomic for comfort, and very smooth motion in here, and it's bigger for people who have bigger hands. All three of these have negatives also. Negatives is side scrolling feels like a pain in the butt. Using this button really requires pressure to hold down the trackball so it doesn't slide. And the fact that the buttons are programmable means you have to get used to them and figure out what the heck you're doing with them. And they're not quite perfect. This little jut in there, I wish this was flat, because now I'm having to slide my hand over to do stuff that it shouldn't have to. You think with all those negatives I'd dislike it, but this is the one that I like the most. But for now, there we go. I do hope this video was helpful. I don't care about the algorithm gods, but I do care about you. Not in a parasocial way, in a nobody's hand should hurt way. And I hope that this video gave you some quick tips about what kind of a device you might want to get for your mouse. And I hope that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that you're having a great time. And I hope to see you again real soon. Bye!